might be.
All right, it looks like we went straight to live without our usual countdown, so hooray. So, good morning. We're talking about precision weight management again, count toxins, not calories. And, you know, our intake for this program is really some questionnaires. Questions like, how do you feel when you walk down the soap aisle at the grocery store? So how do you feel when you walk down the soap aisle at the grocery store?
I find it really painful. All those smells, they get to me, and they are so strong. Laundry detergents really bother me. Any cleaning supplies. That's why we make our own here. We only use EWG verified laundry detergents, hand soaps, dish soaps, everything, because anything, if someone happens to bring it in the house, even as a gift, and it has a fragrance, I just can't use it. It's like my body almost like is repulsed by it.
So we ask questions like that. We ask questions about, lots of clues to toxicity. Mm-hmm. And then we also ask, which ended up being my major issue, about autonomic nervous system balance. Like, do you startle easy? And yes, I do, it turns out.
Yeah,
and
it does.
And it turns out, you get used to your own milieu, right? And I walk around thinking that I'm kind of mellow, but it turns out I'm far from mellow. I'm like a long-tailed cat.
It's weird. You're like, sorry, my hair is bothering me. It's like sticking up weird, and that's all I see. Okay. You are like mellow though until you're not. Yeah. So it's definitely an autonomic thing, because you're very mellow, and then all of a sudden it's like, rah!
Yeah.
It's like, where'd that come from?
Yeah, I'm a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs, and if nobody's rocking, I'm calm. But as soon as somebody starts rocking, I get really twitchy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So lots of questions like that.
Yeah.
And so it turns out that all of this stuff matters. So why?
It matters a lot.
like probably more than any other thing you can think of.
Yeah, you can be eating perfectly. Just like some patients that come to us, they are so good to their bodies. Like, they eat amazing. Yeah. They take care of themselves, and they're still sick, and they're barely eating anything anymore because everything bothers them. It's an autonomic and toxicity issue. So it's a big deal. And a lot of times it's an underlying factor that inhibits people from healing, from losing weight, from a lot of things.
Yeah. So toxins, we've talked about this before, but just briefly, they, by the way, Carol, you probably had something with glitter and got it on me, and I probably came unglued or something.
She probably knows a lot of stories too.
Yeah. But these toxins have names like obesogen. They cause obesity. Or endocrine disruptor, meaning they mess up your hormones. Or glycotoxins, right. Glycotoxins, they interfere with your ability to metabolize glucose. And what's the biggest glycotoxin?
Fructose?
Yeah, fructose. Fructose and corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup. But in addition to that, cortisol. So high cortisol from stress. So that's the other toxin, is our thoughts, toxic thoughts, being stressed out, being worried all the time.
Makes you want to take a deep breath, doesn't it?
Yeah. So that's what the program is about. It's sort of flipping the script on weight management. Instead of saying, oh, well, you ate too many calories. No. It's about finding.
Don't worry about calories.
No, it's about finding and addressing the toxins that are driving your physiology in this undesirable way. And it has to do with finding and addressing environmental toxins, persistent organic pollutants, the things that we talked about, obesogens, endocrine disruptors, etc. But also our internal toxins, meaning our lifestyle choices, but also our stressors. And in flying, there's this concept of PIT, pilot-induced turbulence. So when I was a young guy just beginning to think about flying, my dad was an Air Force pilot, and we're flying, and he had a little airplane. So we're flying along in his little Cessna, and he goes, "Hey, you want to fly?" And I go, "Yeah, I want to fly." So we're smooth as silk, and I take the controls, and all of a sudden my face is going, and I'm starting to get motion sickness. My dad is laughing, and then he takes the controls, and all of a sudden, whoo, we're perfectly still. And he's laughing, and he says, "Yeah, must have hit a pocket of turbulence." Well, yeah, the turbulence was me because I didn't know what I was doing, right? I was getting all twitchy. And we do that. Pilot-induced turbulence has to do with our own thoughts, our own internal milieu, our own sort of way of talking to ourselves in ways that we would never talk to another human being. Mm-hmm. So part of the program is learning to talk to yourself.
Or say out loud even.
Or even say out loud, yeah. So one of the issues is learning to talk to yourself the way you would talk to your best friend in your most compassionate voice. So we wanted to keep this short today.
Yeah.
So what else you got?
We got a few more minutes. So, there is also dietary changes, right? We do set
surrounding optimal detox.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Again, surrounding these things, we're not counting calories in them. We are counting toxins in them. Choosing those foods that have low pesticide residue. We teach you how to do all of that. And the diet really helps to reset yourself, reset your cravings. Right away, it can kind of be uncomfortable. But again, if we get that autonomic nervous system in balance, making choices is easier. You're not quite as impulsive. Maybe if you have, ADD or, something along those lines, it can settle that down. So you're able to, not make those like rash decisions. And once those cravings go away, you don't have to count calories because you automatically feel satisfied when you're satisfied. And a big part of the diet, it is, like I discussed last week, it is a higher fat diet for most people. Not saying we're going to recommend everyone on the same diet. Again, we do these intakes, questionnaires to really find the optimal plan for you. But diet is also a big piece of it, of course, and just learning new ways of thinking about things. And maybe you're already far enough on that too. Maybe you're like, actually, maybe you're a health coach yourself or something, and the diets, and you're still having issues. That's where these other pieces can come into play too.
In fact, that's our first few successes were people who already had the diet and lifestyle dialed in, but the toxins weren't dialed in.
And the autonomic nervous system, and it made a big difference.
So a lot of these toxins are called persistent organic pollutants. Persistent meaning they hang around. As an example, sometimes when I measure these toxins, I find metabolites of DDT coming out of people, right? And DDT hasn't been legal in the United States since about 1974. But yet it's still in our environment to the point where people who weren't even born in 1974 are peeing out metabolites of DDT. So that's how persistent these things can be. And
they're persistent in your body too, obviously.
Right, they're persistent in the environment, persistent in your body. And when you, good morning, Yolanda.
Good morning.
And when you think about that, and then you think about them being stuck in your body and being fat soluble. So, if you have water soluble toxins, you drink a lot of water, you flush them out, right? Everybody understands that. But fat soluble toxins, you need to take in a lot of healthy, low inflammation fats, so anti-inflammatory, healthy fats that helps flush out the fat soluble toxins. So that's why most people, if your main issue is toxins, most people are going to be on a high fat diet. My issue is I have some toxins, but mostly I have autonomic nervous system imbalance from being crazy. So that's my cross to bear, and so just this morning,
maybe it's the flip side.
It's the flip side, whatever.
You're crazy from the autonomic nervous system imbalance.
Well, both, yeah. But so this morning I was meditating with one bulldog in my face, one bulldog on my lap, and an Aussie sniffing my nose. So, this is how life goes in the fast lane. Mm-hmm. All right. So again, we're very excited about this because we've had some really amazing turnarounds for people who just thought, this is it, I'm over 40, I just can't lose weight anymore. And yet, here they go.
Just said you're a good kind of
I'm a good kind of crazy. Yeah.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. Except for when I'm not. All right, what else?
Well, we're at 10 minutes, so...
Yep, we wanted to keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Just
thank you guys for...
20 minutes.
Yeah, patient at the office in 20 minutes, so gotta be respectful of that, too. So, Carol and Yolanda, thanks so much for joining us.
Anybody else that's
Anybody
on
else
that
who's
comment?
lurking and not commenting, thank you. And we'll see you next week. Is there a schedule for next week?
I think next week is Thursday at the same time.
Same bat channel, same bat time, or normal bat channel and normal
Which
bat
is
time?
Thursday. No. It's Friday.
Friday.
It's Friday.
Friday at
8:30.
8:30. Yep. Okay. We'll see you Friday at 8:30. Thank you, guys.
Yeah.
And Joanne.
Hi, Joanne.
Hi. Good to see you.
We'll talk to you later.
Well, yeah, we will talk to you later. Alrighty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
So you got to hit the right button.